So the new Submariners have just been released, and what nobody expected was to have a whole collection of Submariners released at the same time. Hey guys, welcome to Wind on the Move. I'm Saqib. So we have had the new watches released yesterday by Rolex. We have the Sky Dweller on oysterflex. We have the new datejust, new oyster perpetuals with very interesting colors. But in this video, we are only going to focus on the new Submariners. So let's get into it. In my video a couple of days ago, I did predict that we would have a new black dial no date Submariner with an improved movement, but I did not see all of the other Submariners that we have got. I did not see that coming. I did say that Hulk would be discontinued and that it would be replaced by a blue bezel black dial Submariner, which I would have preferred. I would have preferred that variation to be in stainless steel, which we didn't get. But let's just go over the 8 new Submariners that we have seen released yesterday from Rolex. Because Rolex had already teased this before the release, we already knew that we were going to have a no-date Submariner. So of course we have the reference 124060, which replaces the 114060, and that has been discontinued. Then we have 7 variations of a date model. We have the standard black dial date version, the reference 126610LN. Then we have the watch that was actually leaked before the release. It was the one with the green bezel and black dial, which is the reference 126610LV. And this replaces the Hulk, which has also been discontinued. Then we have a two-tone blue dial Submariner, which is the reference 126613LB. Another two-tone black dial Submariner, reference 126613LN. And the one that I really wanted to be in stainless steel, we have it in white gold. The blue bezel black dial Submariner, reference 126619LB. Then we have the 2 solid gold Submariners in 2 dial colors, the blue, reference 126618LB, and the black dial, reference 126618LN. The no date version has the new caliber 3230, while the date version has the new caliber 3235. But most of the conversation around the new Submariner has been focused on the 1mm difference in case size between the long-standing 40mm diameter of the Submariner and the new 41mm wide case of the new Submariners. But what many of us have noticed is that the new Submariner is a bit slimmer, and while the case diameter has been increased slightly, the overall case does look a bit smaller than the maxi case. The lugs look a bit trimmed down. The crown guards look a bit slimmer. Some people who have already tried it on, I've seen some videos, they have said that it's actually wearing a bit smaller than the maxi case. But from the pictures itself, I don't think that owning a 114060, I don't think I would go out, and even if I could get my hands on and buy one, I wouldn't feel the need to swap this watch for the new Submariner, unless I was going for a different variant like the green bezel one. The movement is actually the biggest improvement in these Submariners. They have 70-hour power reserve and have proprietary chronology escapement, making it a massive improvement over the previous caliber. It's the same movement used in the date-equipped Sea Dweller, reference 126600. So what's my impression of these new Submariners is that, of course, we have the no-date Submariner, and we always want to have the black dial no date Submariner in the catalog, in some shape or form, whether it's like a 41 or whether it's a 40. I had preferred it being a 40mm. But yeah, we can't criticize Rolex for coming out with a new improved movement in a new no date Submariner. As far as the 7 date variants that we have seen, I really wanted the blue bezel to be in a stainless steel version. But going back to the Kermit, I feel like it's not a step forward for them in terms of trying out with a different colored dial on a stainless steel version. And I understand some people's frustrations with that, but I also understand that there will always be demand for Rolex Submariners because it's such an iconic watch. So as much as people can criticize Rolex, and we all know how slowly Rolex makes changes, and just coming out with all these different Submariners at the same time is actually already something different that they're doing. People are criticizing the Submariner release as it's not something new for them. But if you look at other brands, and when say for example Omega, right, they have so many different watches and so many different lines that it's become, there's no anticipation for another watch, like because Rolex has such set, like, you know, the GMT Master, the Submariner, the Yacht Master, and these watches do well for them. And if they had added a different line to these professional watches, I don't know if the same demand would be there for those watches and Rolex watches in general. And for me, I love Submariners, and as long as they give new options in stainless steel, I'm happy, because I don't know what else they could change in a Submariner. I mean, it always sells, like you always have people who would want a Submariner. So I don't see any point in changing other than the movement, which they have changed and they have improved it, and a 70-hour power reserve, shock absorbers. I mean, all the things that you would need in a modern dive watch. So I really don't agree with people who call it stale, because they are releasing the same kind of Submariners, but they're actually not. The only thing I don't like around Rolex is the Waitlist and the snobbish behavior of the 80s. It just seems to me that anybody who wants to get into Rolex and their professional watches, it's just so difficult. And if you ask to wait like a few years, people do tend to go to other brands like Omega, where they can just have any watch they want, basically. But again, as I said in my previous video, I will reiterate again, if these watches were available so freely, would they still be in such demand? Anyway guys, so my favorite of all the new Submariners is definitely the blue bezel black dial. But because that is not in white gold, I would say that my favorite still remains the black dial no date Submariner, even if the only thing that has changed is the movement and the case size. But would I buy it? No, because I have the discontinued 114060. But let me know in the comments down below, guys, like what do you think of the new release, and if you had to pick one, which one would it be? Would you pick the golds or the white golds one, or would you pick a stainless steel one? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, even though the Hulk is discontinued, we still have the Hulk merch in the shop, so do check it out. If you're new to this channel, do subscribe and check out my other videos. Do smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and follow me on Instagram at WineOnTheMove. Until next time, cheers.